Um,
I'm test trying the recording
Oh.
function through Hangouts too.
Michelle's
I'm doing all the craziness.
Now we're going to come back up on the table. And are you totally grossed out by me taking this off? Here, I'll turn it.
No, I have 4 children.
Doesn't get gross.
Dogs, chickens.
We'll turn it over so it's not over now. No. Then let's come on up and we're gonna.
My battery's like, what are you doing to
mine
me?
too. I was like, oh.
Okay, so let's go in under. Yeah, this down, we'll do a little bit of draping.
I'll do my best.
Okay. So we're going to do a little draping. So the basics of draping, the two major things are modesty and warmth. So the modesty piece is we're uncovering all the area that we're going to work on, but we're keeping the rest of the person covered. And we're also creating a boundary with the edge of that drape that we won't cross over. So if I'm draping a leg, I don't want to be too conservative because I won't be able to get to the leg. So I want to open up all of the part that I want to work on and then honor that boundary that I've created. The client will always feel good about that. If you go snaking under drapes, people are they're gonna have a problem. They might even sue you, something like that. So let's see what that looks like. And I'm gonna find the edge of something like pants here, I think. And I'm gonna just do a little tuck under. Bring it back until I hit the tuck. Bring it forward. And then we'll tuck that under. And then she feels nice and wrapped up. I can come up here and do all kinds of good things. The reason that I pull this up is when I want this out again, all I have to do is grab the edge of it and pull, and the whole thing will come out just beautiful.
That's magic.
That's so nice. If the client is not wearing something that I can tuck into, then I'm going to kind of around like, where do I want that drape to be? I'll kind of put my fingers down and bring the drape to those fingers. And then bring it out. Bring it up. Plug it in. Loosen this out. Come back and find the edge. Good. The backs are pretty easy that way. Nice, easy drape. The leg I'll do over here. So what I would do here, I'll try to stay as out of the way as I can.
They got 2 angles right now. Yeah. Yep.
So I'm just going to find where the back of the knee is so that I kind of get an idea of the middle of the thigh and calf. And then I'm just going to pick the sheet up kind of at the edge of the table and pull it over so that edge stays out for me. And I'm going to tug this up a tiny bit, just like an inch, to take some slack up here. So I want to try not to pull this off the shoulder. Then I'm paying attention to where that hand is so I don't run into it. And I'm just going to get under the top of the shin and pick it up maybe an inch, grab the edge of that sheet down by the ankle, pull it up and through, and I'm going to wind up kind of up above the pelvis, right around the waistline. Then if I take this and kind of unbunch it, because sheets can be kind of bunchy, and pull that up and tuck it, then I've got a nice open leg with a little bit of glute to come through. If I were going to do a lot of work up here, I could take this up a little higher and kind of turn it under like that, and it'll give me all of the glute and hip to work with. This is what I'm saying about, like, don't be too conservative with your drape. The vast majority of clients are not going to care if they're draped like this, but they are going to love what you're going to do in here, because when I come through with that stroke, I'm going to be able to finish way up around the pelvis, and we love that. That's always going to feel good. One of the primary things you're looking for in effleurage strokes, which make up the bulk of a Swedish massage, is the length of the stroke. We want it to go from one end to the other end. If I drape down here, I'm stuck right here, and I've missed all this stuff. So I've missed a good half of what I could have available to me. I can see earlier.
It's prime real estate just up there.
So yes, we want to really open up that drape and get it up and tucked, and then we're in pretty good shape. When we want to come out of that drape, and I see people do this a lot, they'll try to come out the same way they went in, and they wind up doing all this kind of extra stuff. So I want to try to pick up that leg as little as possible and for as little time as possible, because legs can be heavy. Like if you're working on me, and you're you're trying to pick up a leg that's got some, length and meat,
Strength.
some strength. They're heavy. So one of the ways that body workers hurt themselves frequently is by lifting stuff, lifting people. And if I get in a bad position and I try to lift that up and I kind of tweak my back, that could be an injury that's going to haunt me for a long time. So I want to try to do as little of that as possible. And this is so simple. I'm just going to grab the sheet and pull straight down. So I hardly have to do anything. And that will take me out. When I drape, you're noticing that I'm keeping everything really low to the body. No air, no parachuting. This makes clients extremely uncomfortable.
And cold.
And cold and angry and all kinds of things. And I remember having a friend of mine, a massage therapist friend, and she was getting sessions at one of the spas or something. She said the guy was doing that. And like he was checking me out. I know he was checking me out, So that's leg in the prone position.
We lost my my phone. So, okay, we're back to Carl's computer, but I'll move it around. My phone died.
Good. You can unplug it.
Okay. Are you guys still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here.
Okay, so if I'm going to have Tish turn over, so the first thing I want to do is don't say the words turn over until I'm really in position, because if you say that, the client will start to turn over and sheets will go everywhere. So if I'm using a pillow, so I don't have to really pull the bolster. If I had a bolster under there, it might be good for me to pull it out because it would make it easier for them to turn over, and then I can put it back in under their knees. But I like pillows because then I don't have to do that. And I think they're really comfortable. So what I want to do to kind of keep Tish covered here is and this is a good illustration because you're not going to see any of her. And I'm just going to lean over and I'm going to catch the sheet here with my thighs and just pick this sheet up at the edge like that. And I'm going to say, Tish, go ahead and turn over on your back and slide all the way down on the table. And she got there totally unexposed, and that was easy. You can come down a little further if you want to hit that pillow. And you can see what I mean about bottom sheets kind of going all over the place sometimes, so tie them down nice and tight, or bungee cord or something like that. The leg here, really the same, and I'll just do it again so you guys can see it again, but kind of exactly the same thing. So I'm going to find the knee, kind of come to the midpoint. I'm going to grab that sheet at the edge of the table and kind of carry it over until that edge falls on the inside, kind of straighten it out, give it a tiny tug, these are really easy in the supine, really easy in the supine position because you're okay. Because the knee will just bend and that makes the leg really light. I'm gonna get that down low and just come right up between the hand and the leg. And then I can pull this up, kind of unbunch it a little bit, bring it up nice and high over the hip because I want to be able to finish that stroke right at those rectus femoris attachments, the sartorius, all those wonderful things that attach at the front of the pelvis. So to get that out, so I do a little, we'll just do it super quick here. One of the reasons that we want to get people nice and wrapped up is we may want to come and do some movement. So when I do that, I'll just reach in and grab that sheet, tug it up, and then maybe I want to give her a little yoga stretch, you know. So we're going to make sure that's nice and tight and do a little stretch. And then when we come back, we want that sheet to come with us. So I'm going to take the sheet and pull that leg back with the sheet and then come over. Should wind up with a pretty decent. You won't have all these denim wear to grab the sheets. But that's just an idea of one movement I might do. And this is the position where we're going to do a lot more kind of stretches and leg movements. So we would definitely be conscious about the drape and kind of follow draping. And I like to do it for the client. I don't usually like to have a client hold on to that kind of stuff because they forget. And then to get out, that's not relaxing. Do that same little pull, keep everything nice and low to the table. And if we're going to do an arm, so this is dangerous territory here. So what I want to do, if I really know that wrist is right there, then I can just go get it. And all I have to do is come just up and under, take this out, bring that under. If I want to give it a little tuck, I'm going to go little finger in, palm down, so that I'm not going to come in here and push into breast tissue. I'm going to go palm down, little finger in, tuck under, and then bring this down over the top. Putting that arm back, I don't advise. I would let the client do it. Usually I'll leave this out, and once I've done both arms, then I'll have a nice tight drape across the chest. And I like that. But the client gets cold. My experience is they will just go back in, so I don't really have to worry about it. If I did want to put the arm back, though, if we like to do that, I would bring it out, kind of undo this, and have her put her arm back. And that keeps me from doing, this is exactly what happens. Something like that usually happens. I've seen that in class enough that I, just let the client do it. So you could figure out good ways of doing that. If I were really careful, I could make it happen. But the clients are usually plenty capable of sneaking back in there. And I like the pin across the chest.
Good.
I think we're good.
Great.
How are you feeling, Demo Bobby?
Good.
You feeling well draped and re-draped?
Yes.
And do you guys
We have a nice
have
couple
any
over here.
questions?
Not right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Now
just.
it's a do thing, right? It's we
Yeah.
gotta practice.
It is.
I reserve the right for questions later time.
Yeah. And one of the things I'll say about draping, modesty, warmth, all those things. If I were to have a blanket on Tish, I would just move the blanket out of the way and then drape with the sheet. So don't ever try to drape with thick stuff, right?
Especially when the glutes, that's always gets
Oh, yeah,
bulgy.
it's a
Bulgy.
mess.
Bunchy and bulky is bulgy. No.
And that way you can really use your blanket if you aren't not draping with the blanket.
Right, yeah. And draping is just like any other technique, you have to practice it. And so one thing you could do is just get a fellow student down for a trade and spend like 60 minutes draping over and over and over until it is just like that. Then you won't have to worry about it anymore and clients will be happy. If you if you don't do it, it's like learning a piece of classical music, right? And you come to a little tough spot, something that gives you trouble, and maybe it's draping in this case. So what you do is you practice that over and over and over until it's not a problem anymore, and then you'll always go smoothly through that spot. So sometimes we have to do that with draping because it's a little bit, and I've heard a lot of people say, students far into the program, oh yeah, I'm not very good at draping. Well, let's practice. Get somebody down on the table and drape them 100 times, and then you won't have a problem. So think of it as any technique, and it's really important in a massage because people are taking a lot of perceptions from the quickness and efficientness and quality of your draping. And if I'm fussing around and kind of I'm already thinking about my next massage therapist here. So you can't do that. And I'll just say, I've always said, particularly for male therapists, you got to be good drapers. You just got to be, because people are what's going on in their head, I don't know. But if you're like fumbling around with drapes, it's going to make people uncomfortable.
Yeah, honestly, it's like the only part that I'm like I was kind of nervous about. I'm just like I've got to just practice the crap out of it.
And there's absolutely nothing to worry about. If you practice it, it'll be good, and nobody will ever know. They won't pay any attention. You want it to be transparent. You don't want them to be thinking about it. So if you're efficient and you've got a good move and you just kind of get that thing wrapped up, they'll be totally comfortable with you. So your assignment is in the next 20 minutes, and then the following 48 hours or whatever it is until our next class is to practice these things that we just did. So you all three have access to tables and sheets and stuff. So you could figure out a time and do a little draping practice, try some compression on the floor, on the table, all those things.
Oh yeah, my kids are gonna hate me.
Family members always love it.
And it's good to do it on different bodies.
Yeah.
Because it is different with different bodies with the draping.
And dogs and cats count.
Yeah.
You can do it with them.
Pillows. I didn't have any of the above. So
Whatever.
Pillows.
Do it. Something.
Go get your neighbors. Oh no, not right now.
Right.
So if you guys, we'll Tuesday night we'll start covering effleurage. So we're going to jump into the most major, beautiful Swedish stroke. Beautiful, right?
Gorgeous.
Quote our fearless leader.
Yes, it's beautiful. The best stroke.
The stroke that never goes away,
Mhm.
ever.
Yes.
Yes.
And it does sometimes, but don't ever let it go away. And I'll tell you why on Tuesday night. It's going to be a major connector of
Stay
things. Yeah. So if you guys don't have any questions, I'm going to let you sign off and go practice stuff. And then we'll see you on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I don't know. I may try
if
and.
you guys want to come in, that's totally up to you. And even
honestly
if
gonna be
Ryan,
able to
just you, we can still do it live, and you can be the body. And so however you guys want to do it, I think we can make this work totally fine. And no pressure for anything. You guys do what you're comfortable doing.
Okay. Yeah, I'll more than likely be there on Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna try and come too. Then, yeah, I just think it'll be a lot more beneficial. I mean, this is great, but I just like to be there.
Yeah.
I'm more of a hands-on kind of.
Yeah, same.
Welcome
I
to
know.
therapy.
Yeah, isn't it? Okay, Monica, we're gonna put on a show for you.
Woohoo!
I'm gonna have to find a way to get there. So I'll just take my temperature before I leave the house, and I'll try to make it.
No pressure,
Yeah.
Monica.
Yeah,
honestly,
No pressure.
please
You're
don't
totally
worry.
okay if you want to stay home. We'll get these guys working on each other. You can tune into the whole thing. And if you've got a table and you get somebody down, I'll look back at you through the computer and correct your mechanics and do it over online. So don't worry. If you don't want to come in, you just do it at home.
Okay. I'm hands-on too, and so this is working. It's good, but it's not gonna be excellent until I have the hands-on, and then I have you correcting me.
Yeah.
making sure that I'm doing it correctly.
Carl's pretty good. He can visually correct people and
Yeah.
when
Awesome.
you can see them behind his head, know what
Yeah.
they're doing wrong. Like a mom that knows their people
I
are
don't open them up, but there are eyes
Yeah,
back here.
yeah. Don't you stress. They're not gonna forget anybody behind the camera. So
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay.
All right, friends, go do your homework. I mean, go have a nice Easter weekend.
All right. Thank you guys. See you soon.
See you later.
Bye.
Thank you. Enjoy the weekend.
Bye.
Bye, guys.